Cutie Pies, it's Lyrica, and I am coming to you with another episode of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So we're gonna just get right into it. So Brittany B kicks Zell and Paris out of the whole skate. I don't know what kind of party she was having, but she kicks them out of it. And they're saying we're not leaving, we're gonna bowl. So they start to bowl, and then she tells security to remove those people because they were not invited. Did anybody notice that security looked like they did not want to remove the people? And I'm like, that is like, if she has shut down for this event and it is your job to be security, remove them. But they were looking confused, like they didn't know what to do and they didn't want to do it. But Paris and Zell eventually leave. So then we see Lyrica, who looked very pretty in her with her long hair. So she's riding. They're driving her in the back of I think it was some kind of SUV, and she's just talking about, her relationship with A1 and everything she's going through, and she doesn't know if she should stay in the marriage or she should leave. And so she was like, she's trying to decide on what to do. And so we see her pull up to her mom's house, and I'm like, oh, she must have left him and she's going to stay with her mom. But then we see A1 get out, and I said, well, what's going on here? So her mom is going to keep the baby while Lyrica and A1 go on tour. Because you remember last week he invited her out to do some dates for him while, open for him and T-Pain while they're on tour and everything. So that's what she's going to do. So she's not forgiving him, but she's focusing on her career. And at this point, that is a good look for her career. And honestly, if you're trying to get your music heard, that is a good look. Like, it is a good look to, perform wherever you can perform. So I'm not mad at her for doing that. Then we see Ray J. Oh, y'all, Bugatti is Ray J's dog that he gave to Princess when he was trying to get her, to seal the deal in the relationship and So he gave Bugatti to Princess, and the Bugatti has been kidnapped. And people do that to Hollywood dogs all the time. I remember Vanessa Williams said, Vanessa Williams, because there's two, but Vanessa Williams that most people think about, Miss America, the ex Miss America. Anyways, she said that someone had taken her dog. It was like she had workers in her home and they had taken the dog. So anyways, we find out that Bugatti was at his parents' house. So Princess is kind of like upset with his parents because she feels like they were not watching Bugatti like they should have. And Bugatti did try not to get, like, the man was trying to put him in the vehicle and everything, but he wasn't trying to go. But Bugatti, went across the street and the man dog napped him and everything. They got a video and it's kind of grainy. I don't know how they got the video. Maybe the video. I was like, how did y'all get the video? But maybe the surveillance video reached across the street and everything where they were able to do it. He said that his dad was like trying to get to Bugatti before the man got him. I don't know, y'all. I was like, because it didn't make sense how that happened. But anyway, so that's what's going on with them. I'm going to wrap them up. I love them, but it wasn't that much. So I'm going to wrap them up. So then we see that they have because Princess is upset with Ray J because she feels like it's his family's fault. And Ray J, of course, he's like, I don't want you to feel like that. They should bring us together. And she starts crying and stuff. And if you've ever had a pet, especially a dog or a cat, you get used to them. You get, they do bring you joy and everything. And it is sometimes like having another child that you're taking care of and everything. I don't know who calling me this late. It is like having another child and everything that you're taking care of. So I could understand why she felt like that and why she was upset about it. But anyways, so then we see where he on the next scene that has Ray J and Princess. Sorry, that distracted me. Sorry. On the next scene where we see Ray J and Princess, she just tells him, she was telling him on the before scene, she was just telling him she didn't feel like he was as concerned because he has a dog that he loves and he would do anything if it was that dog. And he's not that concerned about this one, even though he cares, it's not as much. And she's blaming his family. So on the next scene we see with them, they are all together. April is there, Zell is there, Paris is there. Ray J's dad has come out, but his mom did not come out, and Princess didn't like that the mom was not there because she feels like it's her fault that the dog, the dog is missing. But they're giving a $20,000 reward, so they look all over. They brought in a psychic, and she's saying that the dog is in Malibu and they're wanting money. They know you got the 20,000, but they're wanting like. And so Rachel's like, well, we're gonna say 50,000, but we're not gonna actually like give them that money. The only thing they're gonna get is some handcuffs, is what Princess said. So they agree to all of that, and they're going around looking for the dog. And then April starts complaining about, oh, it's bugs, oh, it's this, and all. I was like, girl, hush. Like, they're trying to find their dog. If you're there to help, then you need to be quiet sometimes, because you're coming off real, like, it's not cute. The way she was coming off, sorry, got a pepper in. The way she was coming off about, they're upset trying to find this dog. And it seems like you don't really care too much, especially with you complaining and everything. Um, so then, so that's it with them. They didn't find the dog. They're gonna get together and go to Malibu. And Paris was just like, "Oh my God, look what happens when black people get money. They giving the dog, you got a dog psychic coming in." And all this. This is when you have too much money. But I guess if you could afford it and you do love your dog, you do whatever it is you have to do. Because I mean, I probably wouldn't get a psychic, but I would probably give him a reward if my dog was missing. Okay, so then we see Mickey talks about Slick Woods. So she is the face of Fenty, and she's done a lot. Like she's 22, but she's lived a hard life. Her mom was in jail 20 years of her life, and I'm like, she's 22, and she's really just had to get out there and do things on her own. She's been homeless, and she said like when she turned 20, the money just started coming in. And she didn't know what to do with all this money because she was used to being in a struggle, and that can't happen to you when you're so used to living a poor life or being poor and those type of things, and then you start getting all this money and getting all that money at the age of 20 when you have no financial, literacy can be a detriment to you. I mean, honestly, it can be. So, but it seems like she's able to manage or whatever. And so Mickey's saying that having her is like it's motivation for him because she's getting it and he's trying. Like they help motivate each other because she's getting her career. She has her career and she's set. Is pretty much what he was saying. She could retire at 22 if she wanted to. Okay. So then so that was just a scene where we see their relationship where they really enjoy each other and it's a real relationship. So then we see K Michelle is she's in the take at a photo shoot and she's saying that she's doing this photo shoot for her brand. She doesn't really mention, but she says her brand has pots and pans and everything. So I'm assuming she's trying to branch out into like the kind of a B. Is it B Smith, I believe, B Smith, Martha Stewart, excuse me, type of thing. And so she didn't really give us a lot of information. She said she's just getting the look together right now. So then we see that Brittany B is there on K Michelle's photo shoot. I'm tired of Brittany B already. So Brittany B is there, and she tells K Michelle about she does not need. She tells K Michelle that she is excited about the Jason Lee showcase and everything, and that and she tells K Michelle about her party and about how she gave she threw out Uber at Paris. And I do like the fact that K Michelle just let Brittany B know that you did that, and that's that could be a trigger for her or whatnot, and it was not necessary. And K Michelle in her confessional says, I don't need anyone to fight my battles, I got it myself. K Michelle pretty much told Brittany B she was wrong for that. And I do like the fact that K Michelle let her know she didn't have to do that. But Brittany B is just like, she's loyal to K Michelle and that's her friend. And I can understand, like, everybody always talks about being loyal as a friend, and I get what she's doing, but also it's like you don't know Paris, so get to know Paris yourself as well, because you might be missing out on someone that could be your friend or whatever, because you like to talk about people a lot. Paris likes to talk about people a lot. Y'all could probably be friends, honestly. But anyway, so that's that whole scene. K Michelle just pretty much tells Brittany B, I don't need you to fight my battles. So then we see, she tells K Michelle about April and Moniece and how she goes to their listening session, and she says she couldn't hear April, so she has no idea what April sounds like. And she says Moniece is okay. It sounds like she does. I don't know why she's working with them. Like, Brittany B is confusing me because she says she worked with all these people, and I'm not denying that. I don't know. She says it. I believe her. But it's just like she's always putting other women on the show down for their vocal abilities. And I didn't understand why when I was like, if you're a songwriter, producer, excuse me, and all of that, why are you always putting other women down? But then when later on we see that she's actually going to be in Jason Lee's showcase as well, and she's trying to be a singer, and her first love was singing before she became an A&R. And I was like, well, maybe that's why she's always putting them down, because they're chasing the dream that she wants. So that maybe that's it. So then we see they talk about Lyrica, and Brittany B. K Michelle is just like, she talked to Lyrica, and she's a different, like, she's a grown woman, she's growing up, she's a different person. And Brittany B has a problem with Lyrica, as we found out last week. And she's just like, she's a fake friend, she's a fake, and she's like, I don't care. Let's move on. So then we see April has invited Paris and Zell over to her place, and they're talking and everything, and they talk about the party. And to them, it's all confirmation of how Brittany B is, because April has been saying she got a weird vibe off of Brittany B, and now they're confirming that, yeah, you probably did, because this is how she acted at this party or whatever. And then they talk about, like, they're going to sit down and everything, because they cut up some fruit and everything, and now they're about to go and sit down, and they see shoes, and they were like, whose shoes are these? And she was like, it's always fit Drew's. Whenever he, because he's out of town, he left some stuff over here. And they were like, who lets their best friend leave shoes at their place unless, that's their man or something? She says, Drew has not been inside of her yet. And they were like, wait, you said yet. And she pretty much says that when Omarion left her, and that's why she feels like Omarion can say nothing about her getting with Drew, because she says, he left me. And when he left me, Drew was there, I guess, to help her pick up the pieces, because she said it was a hard time for her, and she didn't know what to do. She didn't know where to start. And so Omarion was there to help her. Now, I will say, I remember when April was first on the show, and Omarion kept telling her, wait your turn, wait your turn, wait your turn, as far as, like, singing and everything. So I can see how maybe she did come very dependent on him as far as being able to support herself. And maybe that's what she's talking about, because she's saying, just the way she's saying it, it's like Drew really just helped her with all of that. So then they asked her about, how that's going to affect Omarion, and that's when she says, like, it doesn't affect him because he left me. It's not like I left him, he left me, so he shouldn't care who I'm with. Okay. So then Paris says, Paris was like, don't break up this group before I get to see them. And a lot of people were saying that. They was like, don't break up this group before I get to see them, because I want to see them perform and everything. So that was that scene. So then we see J-Boog asks Little Fizz or Drew about April. And the reason that he's asking is because at first I was, we've all been saying, like, they shouldn't be together because Omarion and, they were friends. Okay, we found out they weren't friends, but still they were group members and they got this tour. But when he said they have 15 dates left and they are scheduled to make 3.5 million, I guess, a piece, like, because he was like, I'm scheduled to get 3.5 million for these 15 dates left. I was like, I understand completely why, even though, because he said it's not my business, but it is kind of my business. I understand, like, 3.5 million is a lot to give up just so you can be in a relationship. So we know this tour has been going on, so there's no telling how much they previously made, and then he wants to get the rest of the 3.5 million. So they made a nice little penny on this tour. So I understand what he's saying, and if they ever decide they wanted to go on tour again, or even put out an album or anything that they want to do, I could understand where he's saying that I'm gonna need you to work this out with Omarion. And Fizz just keeps saying, well, he hasn't spoken to me. But I feel like you're the one who's messing with the mother of his child. So that means you're going to be around his son. Why don't you open up your mouth and speak to him? And I feel like Fizz does that a lot. Like, he sits back and he lets things happen that don't have to happen. And then he plays like, oh, well, he's not saying anything to me. Even with Moniece, where, oh, well, she's just crazy. But he lets things happen, and then he gets to play I don't understand why they're acting like this. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, so I was completely understanding when J Boog was like, I need, like, y'all can't mess up my bag. So y'all need, you, like, I don't know what you and April got going on. Put that on hold until, like, let's get these last 15 tour dates. Because because Fizz was talking about he wants to bring April out to one of the shows. And I'm like, she doesn't need to sit sit where you can see her. She needs to be like in the audience or something where she doesn't look like a special guest. She can listen. She can watch like 3.5 million. She can watch it another day. Like, get the next tour. Like, get the video that they might put out or whatever. You don't have to come to the date if it's going to mess up the bag. So then, as he's speaking to J Boog, Lil Fizz gets a phone call, and it's April. And he gets up and he says, I have to take this call. But the way he was doing it, y'all know how when you get in a relationship and you're happy to hear from that person, so you're all cheesy and stuff. That's exactly how he was. And I'm like, I don't know why y'all denying this relationship. Maybe they were denying this relationship because they didn't want to mess up the money that they had coming in, and or whatever. Because I don't know how B2K is doing money wise and everything. I don't know. I don't keep track of that. But I mean, who's gonna give up a few million? Not I wouldn't. So then we see. So they show this man pulling up because Lil Fizz was like. I mean, J Boog was like, I don't know what to do after Lil Fizz left. He's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel like, and I was like, well, why does he feel so like I don't know how you pronounce, like, what do I say? Why does he feel so that he has to be like, he has to come in and save it or whatever? I get it, but I was like, he's taking on a lot. And so then we see this man is walking, and we're like, okay, maybe this is the person who's going to figure it all out for him. And then it's Marcus Houston from the group, Immature, who changed their name to IMX. I guess they went back to, I don't know. But, y'all might know him from Sister. What else was he on? He does a lot of movies. Like, because they have a company, and I guess he and J Boog are cousins, and they have a company that the two of them run. And I like their movies. Like, they're not gonna be like, they're not, making $20 million movies, but you can tell they put a little bit of money into them, and they're okay movies. Like, they're funny. They're good movies or whatever. They usually a lot of them come on BET. I'm saying this to y'all just in case some of y'all don't know, or whatever. So it's cool. But I was happy to see Marcus Houston because I was wondering if any of them were gonna, be on this. So J Boog talks to Marcus Houston, and he lets them know that your fans, the one question we always get asked is, why is Immature not on this? I asked that too, because honestly, B2K was a little bit before my time. I was more of an Immature fan. If Immature had been on that tour, I probably would have, before my time, it was a little after my time, y'all. I probably would have been way more interested in seeing that, because I'm a few years, like 3, 4, 5 maybe years older than B2K or whatever. So I was like, I wanted to see Marcus Houston because that's my age group or whatever. And y'all, ever since I started watching this show and they talk about B2K or stuff, I like constantly has been in my head. Y'all remember that song? Constantly, by Immature. Oh my gosh. I was telling my special guy, I was like, do you remember that? And he was like, I don't know that song. I was like, how do you not know? Like, that was the jam when we were growing up. But he is like 3 or 4 years older than me, so that's why I'm gonna give him that maybe he wasn't paying attention to it. But yes, we love some Immature. So if they can get it together, I would love to. And Marcus said that he thinks that they might be able to do it, but he doesn't know how it would go. And then we see in the previews for next week that Marcus feels like he should get more money if they're doing immature. Now, I think he was the lead singer. See, this is where it goes wrong. I think he was the lead singer and everything, but when y'all are coming back together and y'all have not performed in a while, even though Marcus Houston did have a nice little solo career and the other two, I don't believe they had that. I still feel like, okay, y'all are all on equal footing. No matter what you're doing in like your solo stuff, it's nothing compared. Like it's not like y'all are all on equal footing. So maybe y'all should just bust it down and go ahead and get the money. But anyways, we'll see how that goes. I would love if they did go on tour. Okay, so y'all, then we see that Ray. Okay, I already said that about Rachel. So okay, April. I'm sorry, I'm reading. Okay, so now we're at Jason Lee's showcase. Okay, we go to Jason Lee's showcase, and K. Michelle is in the back. For some reason, K. Michelle is always like the focal point when it ever does with all of them getting together. She's the focal point where everyone meets up. So she's sitting down, and Jason Lee comes back, and Brittany B and all of them come back, and everybody's there. Lyrica's performing, Mickey Monday is performing. They're all performing. I'm gonna have to get my notes up on this one. So Brittany B throws shade at Lyrica. So they're all talking and whatever about the showcase. And Brittany B throws shade at Lyrica about I'm the best singer. I'm gonna show Lyrica how to really sing. I don't like Brittany B because it's like you're on this show just as well as them. So I don't understand this superior attitude that she has. But anyways, so Brittany B leaves, and Lyrica and A1 come out because A1 is there to support Lyrica. Now, he says that she's showing a little love, she's warming up to him, and she's like, listen, yes, he's doing better as a husband, but we're not, everything is not good. We're not together, but she does appreciate the fact that he is trying. So A1 says losing Lyrica was scary, and so Jason Lee is back there talking to K. Michelle because Brittany B is left, throwing her little shade, and she left. And Lyrica bumps Jason Lee on the way, and then A1 comes through, and she speaks to K. Michelle, and they speak to K. Michelle and everything, and then they're like, Jason tries to speak to A1, and A1's like, nah, don't come at me like that. He was like, because you leaked that story, and Lyrica was like, why didn't you come to me first? She asked Jason this, and he was like, he was right. He admits that he was wrong for that. He tells A1, yeah, I told you I was going to give you time, and I didn't, and I was wrong for that. But in his confessional, he's like, I would do it again, because Jason Lee, that's his business. Like, he wants to break things like this, because I felt like, anyways, he wants to break these type of stories. And so he doesn't care if it ruins your marriage. And that's what I hate about, like, I don't mind gossip if it's already out there. Like, I know a lot of people say things about Wendy Williams, but usually she's reporting on things that's already out there. Jason Lee is actually breaking things, that's not actually out there. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. But, anyways, they make up. They just like, they're just like, it is what it is. You did what you had to do for business. It's all good. And I think it's only all good because Lyrica and A1 are working towards their marriage again. So Mickey Monday performs. He does good. Brittany B performs. She's okay. I don't want to say, oh my gosh, she was great, because I didn't really hear a lot of it. Like some of this you don't really get to hear a lot. But she was okay. And I know she could sing because of the last episode she was singing. So it sounds like she can really sing and everything. So Trent, okay, so then we go to Trisha, who says Akon is out of town. Now Trisha, remember, is Mickey Monday's ex. She says Akon is out of town, so she's gonna go slide through with see Mickey Monday. And I'm like, who wears what she had on? She had on this little bralette with skirt and everything. And I know people dress like that, but who wears that when their husband is out of town and you're going to see your ex? I was confused by that. So, anyways, Trish tells Slick Woods this is us for officially meeting, like Mickey's family is all there. Mickey's there. He's and Oh, by the way, he did not tell Slick Woods that he met with Trish last week, or whenever that happened. When they met up on the last week's episode. He does not tell Slick Woods that, so she has no clue. But anyways, so he's talking to um Slick and his family and everything. And here comes Trish, Trisha Ann. She approaches and she tells Slick, "Oh, it's our official meeting." And Slick was like, "I think we've met before. Like we've officially met before." And she was like, "No, this is the first time I'm telling you my name." I don't understand. Like you are whole married. Why are you doing this? Like that's what my whole thing is. If you're whole married, why are you so pressed about who he is talking to and if his relationship is real or not? You're married. I've never understood that about married people. And why are you upset? Why are you giving this girl attitude? Like you made your choice and your choice was Akon. I'm confused. Like unless you still want him, there should be no issues between you and Slick Woods. Anyways, Mickey's hugging up on, and this is what I don't like about what happened, because he was like, "Don't be mad" and all that kind of stuff, and she was like, "I'm not mad." Or whatever, because at this point she has her career. Yes, it's probably nice having Mickey in her life, and she probably cares for him, maybe even loves him, but I feel like she has her career and everything. And Trish is like, he's just with her for clout. I don't think he's with her for clout, but I don't think that him not telling her about Trish, I think he might have still have feelings there, and I don't like how this might play out, because this Slick Woods is like a name or whatever that we don't want to see her name be in some mess on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. As far as I am, because I really think she's a pretty girl, and especially knowing everything that she's been through and everything. Don't be bringing her name through some mess with all this with Trish and all that, Mickey. Anyways, moving on from that. So Lyrica gets up and she sings, and Lyrica can sing, and Brittany B was like, she sounds good and all, but those songs are boring. And I'm like, it's a showcase. Like every song is not going to be, getting up, moving the crowd, sing along. Every song is not going to be like that. And I thought Lyrica did a great job, because her song seemed to speak on what she was going through. And that resonates with the crowd more than you just trying to get them to move or whatever. Ooh, child. But so then A1 is happy. Again, he's happy that Lyrica is softening, and they're talking afterwards just about her performance and everything. And Apple comes up, because Apple knows all of them. So Apple Watts comes up with Brittany B, and Apple is drunk. And so Lyrica's like, "Oh, you're lit," and she was like, "Yeah, I am." And so Brittany B confronts Lyrica, and we find out from what Lyrica is saying, they were never friends like that. They worked on one song together, they went to the gym once, and that was it. And I guess Brittany B wanted more of a relationship than Lyrica. She just didn't want to be friends with her. So they hug it out, because they have no beef with each other. So they just hug it out. And then Lyrica's like, "But no, what I do have beef with, what I do have concerns about or whatever, is you and Sia." And they bring Sia, and I didn't even know Sia was there. But they bring Sia to the forefront, and then her and Brittany immediately start going into it, because Sia says, "You were trying to use me to get close to Lyrica." And Brittany B says, "You were trying to use me for my connections," or whatever. And I'm like, how long ago was this? Because Brittany B has said that she's been on for a few years now. I don't know. Like, I don't how close. Like, when did this all go down? And then A1, so they're fussing and fighting, wanting to go at each other. And A1 is like, what is going on? Like, he was like, all I know is Sia and Brittany B were friends, and Lyrica really didn't want anything to do with Brittany B. They were not friends like that, but Brittany B wanted to be friends or whatever. And so Sia is like, you're just mad because she tells Brittany B, you're just mad because you wanted to be friends with her and you didn't. And Brittany B says, you're just mad because Lyrica is the better songwriter than you. I guess Lyrica, they both are best friends, but Lyrica is the one that people go to write their song. I don't know, y'all. This is just ridiculous. But that's anyways, that's how that ends. But I'll see y'all next week. Enjoy the rest of your night. That was Love and Hip Hop Hollywood.